So, you're thinking about hitting the trails in Maine on an ATV or a snowmobile. Awesome. This is going to be your guide. We're going to break down everything you need to know to safely and legally enjoy the thousands of miles of absolutely incredible trails this state has to offer. All right, let's jump right in.
I mean, look at this. Maine's trail network is a rider's dream, for sure. It's this massive system that lets you get out there and explore some of the most beautiful backcountry you'll ever see. But before you even think about firing up that engine, there's one single critical fact you have to understand because it makes this whole system possible.
94%. Yeah, let that number sink in for a second. The vast majority of the land you're going to be riding on doesn't belong to the state. It belongs to private citizens, to families, and to companies who are generous enough to open it up for all of us to use. This access is truly an incredible gift, and it's all built on a really unique partnership.
So to make sure we all do our part to protect this gift, we're going to walk through 5 key areas. We'll start with understanding that trail partnership, then we'll get you legal with registration. After that, we'll cover the rules of the trail, talk about what it really means to ride with respect, and finally, we'll look at what's at stake if you don't.
All right, first up, Maine's Trail Partnership. This is the how over 10 million acres of land are opened up for you to enjoy. Okay, Section 2, getting legal. This is your first non-negotiable step before you hit the trail. So, you pay your registration fee, but where does that money actually go?
Well, check this out. Your registration isn't just some fee that disappears into a black hole. It's a direct investment in the sport you love. The lion's share, over 2/3 of your money, goes right back into the ground, into the Trail Maintenance Fund. The rest helps support safety, enforcement, and land management.
Okay, let's talk numbers. Here are the current ATV registration fees. And hey, a little pro tip for you non-residents. You might want to mark your calendars for August 14th through the 16th, 2026. That's the free ATV weekend. You can ride with a valid registration from your home state or province. No Maine registration needed.
And for you snowmobilers, here's the breakdown, with different options whether you're a resident or not. And just like with ATVs, there's a free snowmobile weekend. It's scheduled for March 6th through the 8th, 2026. A perfect chance to come experience Maine's legendary winter trails.
Okay, you're registered, you're legal. Now for the fun part, the actual riding. Section 3, Rules of the Trail. Let's talk safety, signs, and just how to act out there.
First thing you absolutely have to know, the signs. And honestly, they made it super simple. For ATVs, you see a green sign, the trail is open, you're good to go. You see that red circle with a line through it? That's a hard stop. That trail is closed to ATVs. It's really that easy. And for all you sled heads, it's the exact same logic. Solid symbol means the trail is open for you, the red no symbol means that trail is off limits. Knowing these basic signs is, well, it's just fundamental. It's the first step to being a responsible rider.
Now, beyond the signs, here are some critical on-trail rules. First and foremost, and this is a huge one, always stay on the marked trail. Going off-trail is trespassing, and it damages the land. On the trail, drive to the right at a reasonable speed. Always come to a complete stop before you enter a public road and yield. And be mindful of your surroundings. Stay at least 200 feet from buildings, and never, under any circumstances, ride on railroad tracks.
For all the parents out there, this is crucial. Safety is all about matching the machine to the rider. This chart shows what the manufacturers recommend for minimum ages based on engine size. These are really important guidelines, but then there's the actual law.
And here's the bottom line, legally speaking. In Maine, if your kid is between the ages of 10 and 16, they are legally required to pass an approved safety course to operate an ATV on any land that isn't their family's. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
And this is completely non-negotiable. Anyone under the age of 18, doesn't matter if they're driving or just a passenger, must wear a helmet. This isn't a suggestion, it's a mandatory safety law, and it's there to protect young riders. Plain and simple.
All right, let's move on to Section 4, Ride with Respect. You know, this is about more than just following a list of rules. This is about protecting the future of the entire sport.
If you remember just one thing from this whole guide, please make it this quote. Access is a privilege, not a right. You're going to see this phrase on signs all across Maine, and it is the single most important concept for every single rider to understand and embrace.
So why is this so important? Well, it all comes down to something called limited liability. Maine law actually protects landowners who open their property for recreation from most lawsuits if someone gets hurt. They're taking a risk by letting you on their land.
Our respectful behavior is the thank you they get in return, and it's what keeps those trail open signs up season after season.
And you know who the real heart and soul of this entire system is? The local clubs. These are volunteers, folks. They're the ones on the ground, working with landowners, maintaining the trails, helping first responders, and teaching people how to ride safely. If you want to support these trails, the absolute best thing you can do is join your local club.
Okay, our final section, know the stakes. Because riding with respect isn't optional, let's take a hard look at the consequences for breaking the rules. The state has an absolute zero-tolerance policy for operating under the influence. For anyone 21 or over, the limit is .08, just like in a car. But for anyone under 21, the limit is 0. Any amount of alcohol, period. It's a Class D crime with severe penalties. The message is simple: never, ever drink and ride.
And the penalties go way beyond just fines. If you commit any of these serious offenses, OUI, damaging property, reckless operation, you're facing a mandatory 1-year suspension of all your State Department licenses. That means no riding, no hunting, no fishing for a full year.
And finally, you have a legal duty if there's an accident. If someone is injured, you must report it immediately to law enforcement. You have to provide your information and you have to render reasonable assistance. It's the law, and it's the right thing to do.
So it all comes back to you. The future of Maine's incredible trail system isn't just in the hands of the landowners or the clubs, it's in the hands of every single person who starts an engine. This access is a privilege, a partnership built on respect. So the only question left is, how will you protect it?